Brandon Hoffman here with another real estate adventure. So I have an agent that has shown this property and called and said there is a leak somewhere and they think the roof might need to be replaced. So I don't think that would be the case because this is a 30-year architectural shingle that's 10 years old because that's when the house was built. So I'm going to go inside and I'm going to look for water stains. I'll show you what I'm looking for on the ceiling and see if we can see what she's talking about. The roof looks okay out here. Now I'm going to show you something. And sometimes we get little leaks from around here, but they're not really roof issues, they're boot vents. So I'll show you the boot vent. There it is. See a little pipe sticking out of the roof, and there's a bigger one there, little one there. Because we're in the south, there's one more. They're over bathrooms typically, where you need to vent steam or humidity to the outside. Because it gets very hot and humid here in the summer, those are made of plastic, and we get about 5 to 7 years out of those things on average. And then the plastic gets brittle and it'll start to crack. When that plastic starts to crack, they have to be replaced. Usually $100 give or take is how much it costs parts and labor to replace it. You can get those things at Lowe's anywhere $10-25 for the material, and then it's just a matter of going up on the roof and installing it. So let's go inside, and I'm going to walk through the house, look at the roof, and see if I can find any places where there might be a water stain. I'm going to do so with the lights off because I usually find it a little easier to spot anything like that without the lights on, because sometimes it'll mask it. So here we go, going inside the property, and what I'm looking at is the ceiling. Now if there's an active water stain, it's usually discolored, has a little bit of a brownish tint to it. Sometimes you'll find an old stain and it's been painted over at some point, and the paint is impossible to match. So I can actually see right there at some point water dripped along a beam or something. I believe that's probably old because I know they had a previous issue in here, and I think you'll see that in the bathroom. Yep. What you can see there and there. And actually I know in the bathroom they used to have 2 columns in here. So those columns were removed and those were patched up, and there was a little drip along the eave at some point. So either that got touched up because that's just a crack in the sheetrock, or it's an old leak, but that's certainly not anything active. We're good in here. Now I've cheated. I've already come in and I looked at the house before I started recording. When I did that, I had looked in the bathrooms and the closets as well to make sure I didn't miss anything. So, just so you can see me being thorough. Yes, I'm sorry, that was a bathroom and it was dark in here. Too dark to see anything. So nothing in here. So the next thing I'm going to do is go up into the attic, where it's going to be 1,000,000 degrees because it's already 100 outside. And I did see this, and I'm going to show you this. I saved it for last. This might be an active leak, and that's why I think it's probably the boot vent. See that spot right there? That could be an active leak. If it is, not really a big deal. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to go look in the attic to see if there's any sign of water intrusion coming through up there over the laundry room. Folks, we are now in the attic. So I see a spot right there. Or there's a boot vent. My gosh, it's 100 degrees outside. It must be 140 degrees up here. I'm sweating profusely already. But that spot very well could be the issue right there. And if it is, that's a fairly common thing. The attic is pretty awesome in this place because you get a ton of storage. But yeah, as I walk through here, I'm not seeing anywhere that's leaking unless it's that little spot right there. And if that's the case, it's just a vent, which is a general contractor repair. Yeah, there you go, easy fix if that's what it is. So if you have a roof leak or a stain starting to show up on your ceiling, it could be different things. You want to check your boot vents and see if it's under one of those. That's a simple fix, as we already discussed. The other thing you want to do is check and see if you have an air handler up in the attic. And this one we don't, you'll see that, but if there's part of the AC unit up in the attic, there's a drain pan. Sometimes those drain pan gets clogged and overflow, and that's going to create a stain on the ceiling. So, not the case in this one because it's a package unit where everything's outside. But a lot of our heat pumps around here do in fact have a drain pan that'll get clogged up, and I've seen that happen plenty of times. When that happens, you need to turn your AC off, call an AC company, and get them to come unclog the drain. Simple, easy. Hopefully it doesn't cause any damage before that happens.